elections have been foreseen for the end of April. June, yes, yeah. April was the last month before last month. Yeah, but I'm so eager to see Albania making the progress that I was confusing April and June. People should not be prevented from exercising their democratic rights. You cannot block the expression of the willingness of the people of Albania, and so I do think that without interfering in this internal domestic debate, I think that this election should take place. If not, it would postpone the European perspectives of Albania. So I'm happy to listen to the Prime Minister, and I'm happy that, what we agreed upon when I was visiting Albania back in March 2018. March is the right date, no? Yeah. Delivered what he promised to me, so I'm in favor of opening negotiations with Albania as soon as possible, summertime, beginning autumn, to be seen at the autumn session.
Prime Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and dear Jean Claude. I'm really grateful to what we have done together with the Commission, with yourself, in a not easy path of reforms and of having attained, as recognized by the report of the European Commission, a critical mass of results in implementing the targeted transformative reforms and the 5 key determinant priorities. And as we agreed, the renewed recommendation of the Commission to the Council to open accession negotiations with Albania really represents an objective view on acknowledgement of the tangible results and, in the same time, of the comprehensive and thorough justice reform that Albania has undertaken, and of the achievements in the fight against corruption and organized crime as well. Now, I know, as you frankly and bluntly stated, that not everybody is so determined as you are, as mostly of the member states are, but in the same time, I think, as you said, that it's time for Europe to do what we expect after having delivered, to recognize our merit and to switch green light for the accession talks, which is of course not the end, but just a new beginning of a new chapter which will take a lot of efforts and which will need time and patience. At the same time, I want to say also publicly that we don't do it because we are asked from Brussels or from the capitals, but we do it for the sake of our country and for the sake of our children and for the sake of common vision of how the country should look like and what Albania should be in the next generation times. In the same time, I am very happy to reaffirm that we count on your support, we count on your loyalty, on your friendship, and also we count that until the moment the decision will be taken, everyone will be on board to give to the Albanians nothing more and nothing less but what they deserve. At the same time, I want also to thank you for the very clear stance about the situation in Albania, which is an internal matter which has to be solved by Albanian institutions. But for sure, it's also about the European Albania, it's also about our path of integration, that elections should happen in time and no one should be prevented to participate in the elections, as everyone is free to not do so.
We have time for a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Let's start with one.
Let's start with the Albanians, no?
Yes, of course. One.
Thank you. Yeah.
Mr. President, Mohamed Veliu from Top Channel Television in Albania. You mentioned the 30th of June elections. I'd like to ask you, what is your view about attempts of Albanian president to cancel such election? I have another question for Prime Minister Edi Rama. Prime Minister, again today we have seen the determination of Albanian president. He said no election is going to take place without his degree. What is the way forward on this? Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I don't want to interfere in this domestic debate between the president and the government, but I always shared my own view, as I always do, that if elections have to happen, nobody should prevent citizens from expressing their political and democratic opinions. So I'm in favor of, without interfering in this ongoing process, that these elections should take place. If not, this would harm the European perspective of Albania.
Minister.
So I am with the President of the Commission. I prefer to stay with him and not comment the President of the country. We'll have time for it next. I'm flying back, and so leave it for there.
Go ahead.
ABC News and Clan TV. First question for the President. In your opinion, is it a mission impossible now for the Commission to convince those member states which are reluctant to start accession negotiations with Albania and North Macedonia in June, knowing that we have, for instance, 4 member states, Germany, Netherlands, France, Denmark, which are opting for a decision to be taken in October rather than in June? And for the Prime Minister, I'm sorry, I have to ask you a question about the President, because this is the top issue today. The President said today that there is no need to launch a procedure aiming to dismiss him for his function, as he has offered himself to sacrifice himself for the sake of finding a solution to the political crisis. What's your opinion on this?
To your first question, Madam, it's not a mission impossible. We have to explain to those who are reluctant, mainly for domestic reasons, not for continental reasons, why we do think that it would be worth thinking that the negotiation should be opened with Albania in the next coming months. I'm not focusing on June, because there are parliaments who have to approve. They are not in session in June, so it could be later. But my conviction is that we have to make it very crystal clear that the moment has come to open negotiations with Albania.
I'm sorry, I have to make the best use of my time here with the President of the Commission, so no time now to answer about the president of the country. We'll have all the time to do so once I have finished my mission here and have thanked the Commission and took the way back. Thank you.
Okay. Final question, please.
Marina Maksimovic, Tanjug News Agency, Serbia. I have a question first for President Juncker. Besides the focus on North Macedonia and Albania, this time you and your Commission already has a legacy on the Belgrade and Pristina dialogue. Do you see that it's possible in this time of this Commission to move forward with this process, and do you see any kind of possibility for Pristina to revoke the taxes so the dialogue could